The portrait winner of the Iranian girl with the hair over her eyes by Lurk from Denmark was really an incredible picture, an incredible portrait, very strong, and for me it was number one when I first saw it as a single. The winner, The Interrogation Room by Donald Webber, it's full of just on an aesthetic level, it's really beautiful colour work. And essentially what he's done is he's made a political statement there as well, so there's great content, and that was really important for me, that there was content in these stories. That's the first thing that I reach for, is rather than the aesthetic, is the fact that they're about something. And what he did there was he photographed people who were being interrogated in this interrogation room, police interrogation room in the Ukraine. Now, how he got this access to it, I don't know. There are like images in there which are just extraordinary, and I think a lot of the story is really about how people are coerced when they're in these rooms. A lot of people who've got problems, social problems, and it looked like anyway in the pictures, and just this whole process of bullying going on, and the story was just like so articulately put together. It's a really, really, really tough story. There was one story by Simon Norfolk he compared these portraits that Burke had shot there during the British-Afghan War in, I think, the 1870s, 1880s, and they're very formal. They're really beautifully formal pictures which are in my head. They're in my kind of, my visual vocabulary. I knew of them. And what he did was he recreated, but today, he put together portraits that were in the same style as them, and they were really, really strong. To begin with, before I saw the interrogation room pictures, I felt that that was the piece that I really held for, because I really love the concept of it. Well, there was a series of the feminist group which we really tried hard to. We really were decided in the first round. All three of us were determined that was going to go through. So that was a series of pictures that went through and went on, and it caused a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion, a lot of debate over that. And in the end, we had to lose the set, but we decided to definitely pull in the portrait of the girl with her arm in the air. So I was very glad that went through. It's a case of content. I mean, it's a great story, and it was done really, really well. Samuel Arendon's picture that won it was, for me, it was a no-brainer. It really described the situation. It had such great dignity about it, and it also showed some ways the role of how women are often perceived, and the role of women in conflict. But what it also really made me think is, like today, where we're doing this interview, war's going on, a civil war's going on in Syria, and there's it's a terrible situation that's going on there, and that image brought home to me what war really is. There's this suffering going on, but above it all is this incredible humanity that people have, and love that people have for each other. So for me, it was like there was no other picture for me.